Now, here's the other thing about crossing 50. When I was a kid, I used to think anybody that was 50 or older had... What the heck? I feel like I'm in Aerosmith or something. I'm a comedian, for God's sake. Is the house on fire? But I thought anybody that had crossed 50, they were like a fountain of knowledge that you could go and drink from. And then I got to be 50 and I went, well, that's not the case. Because like, oh no, are you smarter than a fifth grader? Like when I started doing that, people thought I was smart. And I'm like, y'all, if they didn't give me the blue cards, that's the shortest show in the history of television. First question, do you know the answer? No, neither do I. Good night, everybody. We had a lady on, it was like a third grade grammar question. It was something about an antonym. And she said, oh, I remember there were homonyms and synonyms and antonyms. She said, I can't remember the difference in them. Can you use it in a sentence? My antonym came over for Christmas dinner. But I started thinking about all the stuff that I didn't know. And it's a lot longer list than the stuff I do know. But it's stuff I thought I would know by now. I mean, I don't know how they know how long to make the cord for the first bungee jump at a new place. All right, Ed, let him jump! All right, Ed, shorten it up a little bit. Give his girlfriend a free t-shirt. I don't know why the dentist makes you lie to him. Every time I go to the dentist, he'll be looking at my mouth. He's like, oh, you have not been flossing every day, have you? No, not every day. Oh, let me think. The last time I flossed, you did it. I don't know who closes the door when the bus driver gets off. Don't think about that one too long. You get a headache, I promise. I don't know how women can lie down on the couch and take a nap without sticking their hand in the front of their pants. How do y'all do that? See, men have a sleep button located right there. Take our hand, put it on that button, and... I don't know why the people with the worst breath always stand the closest to you when they talk. They're like, guess what? Oh, I don't know, you got a dirty diaper in your mouth? Can I tell you something? All right, but do it quick. I can only hold my breath for 30 seconds. And you always try to offer them like a piece of gum or a mint. They never take it. They're like, oh, no thanks. I don't like the way those taste. Yeah, I can see where you wouldn't prefer peppermint to that cat turd you're chewing on right now. Wow. I don't know why the bank leaves the vault door wide open, but change the 25-cent ink pen to the counter. And why does the drive-up banking window have directions written in Braille? And they do. Check it out the next time you're there. I don't know why I can't call the computer helpline and talk to somebody on this side of the planet. Every time I call the computer helpline and get, hello, this is Kevin. What is the problem you are currently experiencing? I'm sorry, what was your name? It is Kevin. Kevin. Wow, because if I had to guess, I would have bet your name had 2 less vowels than Kevin. What is the problem you're currently experiencing? Well, before I called you, it was that my computer was locked up, and now it's trying to understand a damn thing you're saying. And they won't tell you where they are. I'm like, where are you? I'm at my desk. Okay, but where is your desk? It's in my office. Okay, Kevin, let me put it this way. If your friend came over to hang out with you tonight and he showed up driving an elephant, would that be weird? See, we don't drive elephants here. I don't know why a new razor costs $6, but a pack of 8 replacement blades cost $2,000. Why are razor blades so expensive? You could put a kid through college by growing a beard. I think they're so expensive, they've gotten complicated. You know, when I was a kid, it was one blade. You used it for a week, threw it away, got another. Now it's 5 blades. And the advertising agencies have convinced us every one of those blades has its own job. Blade number 1 walks up to the whisker and pretends to recognize it from high school. Blade number 2 runs behind it and thumps it over the head with a beer bottle. Blade number 3 ties its hands together with duct tape, while blade number 4 warns the other whiskers to stay out of it or they're next. You know what I think's going on? I think it's just like those road crews. I think there is one blade doing all the work and there's 4 just standing around watching. You can't ride a bicycle anymore without dressing like Lance Armstrong in the Tour de France. Anybody remember when you could ride a bicycle wearing blue jeans and a t-shirt? You can't do it now. Got to have the uni. And it's not just young athletic people. Like fat middle-aged guys look like the Michelin Man in a wetsuit. And he's got sponsor logos. Like, who's sponsoring you, Pop? Dunkin' Donuts, all right. Pedal on, doughboy, pedal on. I don't know why only rednecks are seeing UFOs. And here's the deal. You got to discount 90% of that stuff right off the top. Because my Uncle Jerry swore they had crop circles in their yard. Then we found out that his wife had called Goodwill and they had come and got the trampoline and the boat trailer. So, you know, mystery solved. But let's say there really were aliens and they really are coming to Earth and they didn't want people to know that they were coming to Earth. It makes sense they would only reveal themselves to rednecks. A, we usually live out in the country, so there's not going to be a lot of witnesses. B, we have no credibility with the media. See, people might believe a scientist from UCLA if he saw one and said, well, they appeared to be bipods from a hydrogen and nitrogen-based environment whose primary respiratory organ was located within their moist, translucent epidermis. As opposed to Cletus in his overalls going, it looked like a giant booger with real skinny legs. I don't know why after 27 years of marriage, my wife continues to ask me, what do you want for your birthday? What do I always want for my birthday? Same thing every man on the planet wants for his birthday. The same thing every woman on the planet doesn't want for her birthday. Never once has my wife said, you know what, forget the flowers, forget the presents, why don't you just lock the door and take me to Squeal Town? But it's all any man wants. You can be visiting your grandpa in the nursing home, be like, happy birthday, Papa. Is today my birthday? It sure is. Well, help me get my pants off. I don't know why a dog can eat its own vomit, gobble up cat poop, and lick its rear end for hours and be totally fine, but if he eats half a candy bar, he dies. They need to renegotiate that one. I don't know why in this age of sexual equality, there are still some jobs that are the man's job or the woman's job. Like if there's a noise in the house in the middle of the night, whose job is it to check that out? Man. Yeah. Never see this. Phyllis! Phyllis! Run downstairs, see what that noise was. Hey, bring me back a piece of chicken, okay? Now, if there's a noise in the house in the middle of the night, it's the man checking it out. In his underwear, carrying a baseball bat. Because that is the official uniform of suspicious noises, underpants and a baseball. I don't know what we're hoping to find. Some guy in the living room in his underwear with a ball. And my dad didn't even need the baseball bat because my dad wore those giant boxer shorts that were always gapped open in the front. Oh, that gap would be like a taser to a thief. Shut the gap! Shut the gap! Here, take my wallet. Just shut that gap! What's every man in here want for his birthday? The same thing every woman in here doesn't want for her birthday. Never one time has my wife said, you know what, this year, forget the flowers, forget the presents. Why don't you just lock that door and take me to Squeal Town? But it's what every guy wants. You could be visiting your 90-year-old grandpa in the nursing home and be like, happy birthday, Papa. Is today my birthday? It sure is. Well, help me get my pants off. I don't know why a dog can eat his own vomit, gobble up cat poop, and lick his rear end for hours and be totally fine. But if he eats half a candy bar, he dies. I don't know why in 2023 we still have jobs that we will call men's jobs or women's jobs. Like if there's a noise in the house in the middle of the night, whose job is it to go check out the noise? It's the man. Let's be, yeah, you never see this. Phyllis. Phyllis. Run downstairs, see what that noise was. Hey, bring me back a piece of chicken, okay? Now, if there's a noise in the house in the middle of the night, it is the man checking it out. In his underwear, carrying a baseball bat. Because that is the official uniform of suspicious noises, underpants and a baseball bat. I don't know what we're hoping to find, some guy in the living room in his underwear with a ball. And my dad didn't even need the baseball bat because my dad wore those gigantic boxer shorts that were always gapped open in the front. That gap was like a taser to a thief. Shut the gap, shut the gap. Here, take my wallet, just shut that gap. I don't know why every time I get great tickets to a concert, I always end up being seated next to somebody that has to sing every song at the top of their lungs. So several years ago, Simon and Garfunkel came to Atlanta. My wife wanted to go. She had a couple of friends that wanted to go. Well, my mother-in-law wanted to go. Quick backstory on my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law has hearing aids that she refuses to wear because she thinks they don't look good. But because she doesn't wear them, she can't hear a lick. She talks louder than anybody on the planet. One night around Christmas time, we go to the movies. We're standing in the long line at the concession stand. My mother-in-law walks over to me and goes, "Don't look now, but the man behind us is cross-eyed as a bat." Which is bad for two reasons. One, you're embarrassed to death. And two, when somebody says something like that, yes, you've got to look, you know. Then I'm like, turn around, the guy's glaring at me. Well, he may not have been glaring at me, but he was glaring at somebody. So we go to Simon and Garfunkel. Somehow I end up being seated next to my mother-in-law. She doesn't have the hearing aids in. She sang every Simon and Garfunkel song, and she knew the words to none of them. Like a witch over Bubbles' daughter. Or you can, I will grease your pine. Grease your pine? That's what you got out of that? One of the most recent trips to Louisiana, we went down, my wife's cousin got married in Baton Rouge, and so we went down for that wedding and the rehearsal dinner at Hooters. If I'm lying, I'm dying. And our waitress that night was qualified to work there. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure she was on a scholarship. First time she walked up to the table, my wife's Uncle Don looked at her and went, "Woo, woo, where'd you get them things, girl?" I thought, oh, she's going to get mad. And she didn't. She was very cool. She said, "I bought them." Well, then Don's wife, Lois, said, "You know, I've been thinking about buying me some." Don turned to Lois and said, "You are 62 years old. You getting a boob job would be like hanging a new chandelier in a haunted house." This is the blood that flows through my children. And when we went to the wedding, we stayed with my wife's mom and dad. In fact, we spent 5 days with my in-laws, which on life's list of fun things to do comes in right below sitting in a tub full of scissors. And everybody here has family like this. You have people in your family, you love them. You love them to death. You just don't do real well when you have to share the same house, because your lifestyles are different. And that's the case with my in-laws. I mean, they're getting on up there. They're in their golden years. And see, I'm out late at night doing this kind of thing. And bless their heart, it's all they can do to stay awake through the Wheel of Fortune. You're at their house, you watch American Idol, you feel like a hellraiser. It's 9 o'clock, we're still up, we're crazy! But because they go to bed so early, they get up early. Which is fine. If, like normal human beings, they drink coffee and read the newspaper. That's not what happens in the nut house. My father-in-law, who is retired, who has nowhere to go, gets up at 5:45 every morning of his life. He walks straight into the den and starts watching the Discovery Channel at a volume normally reserved for movie theater sound commercials. So you're lying in bed. The sun has not thought about coming up. All of a sudden you hear, "Like other predators of the plains, the jackal subdues its victim by clamping his neck and slowly squeezing the life from his body." You're in the bed going, "You know what? That ain't a bad idea." And it's a weird sensation to be mad and learning at the same time. Second morning we were there, I learned everything there was to know about the African willow fly before I had even peed. You know that fly only lives 28 hours? That's his entire life, 28 hours. I'm lying in the bed thinking, boy, you only live 28 hours? You can't afford to have a bad day. And what happens if you get involved with a girl that wants to take it slow? Honey, we're going to be dead in 3 minutes. Spread your tiny wings and fly away. And we always have to sleep on the fold-out couch at their house. Boy, that's a good night's rest, isn't it? Got that one iron bar under your skull, one under your pelvic bone, that last one under your ankles. Sleeping on that thick, thick mattress. I've eaten bologna thicker than the mattress on the fold-out couch. And boy, they keep that house a little warm. The inside of their house is about the same temperature as the bottom of a rocket when it's this high off the ground. And they walk around in sweaters. Is anybody else cold? Is it just me? Is anybody else cold? Hell, I'm naked on the tile bathroom floor, gasping for air. Well, I remember when I was in the 4th grade and the firemen visited our school, they told us that's where the last oxygen would be, right there next to the floor. I'm in the bathroom so long, my mother-in-law's beating on the door. Do you need a correct-all? You eat too much cheese. And I'm not making fun of old people. I'm not. Because I really do believe that's the goal of everybody here tonight. We all want to live long enough to someday be an old person. I do. I not only want to be an old person someday, I want to be a burden to my children. Oh, I know the day's coming. My kids are going to be on the phone with each other going, it's your turn to take Daddy for a while. Oh, he's making those noises. He doesn't even know he does it. If you don't come get him, Todd and I are going to get a divorce. It's going to be your fault. So I'm a bow hunter. I'm a big outdoor guy. I bow hunt. I like to fish. I look for arrowheads all over the country. I love being outdoors. So I'm on a bow hunt in the Northwest Territories of Canada, 30 miles south of the Arctic Circle. And anybody that says we're running out of places for people to live has never been up there, because it's like the moon. There's nothing. I mean, we were staying in this little, we got dropped off by a float plane, and we were staying in this little lean-to down by a lake. But to hunt these caribou, they lived up above the sheep. I didn't know that. I thought, caribou, I've seen them on TV. They go in herds of thousands, and you just hide behind a rock and shoot one. Hell no. They're up there above the sheep. And I'm like asking the guide, where are we going to go? He goes, well, see the top of that mountain? And I'm like, oh, no, really? He goes, no, the mountain past that. That's where we're going. So you just walk your butt off. So the first day we go up there, and it seems like we walked forever, and we found a few caribou, but none we wanted to shoot. So we stay out there glassing all day, and at night we're walking back. And I mean, we probably walked 10 or 12 miles. You know, you got these backpacks on, you're carrying your bow, and you're dead tired. And as we crest the hill down in the valley, I can see the lake where our lean-to is. And our guide's like, come on, we're going this way to the left. I go, dude, no. I said, we can cut straight down through here and cut the distance in half, and we'll be back at the lean-to. He goes, we could, but that's where all the grizzly bears live, is right down in that valley. And I'm like, why don't we go this way over here? But I learned an important lesson in that is don't guide the guide. Don't guide the guide. He's the reason you paid him to be there. Well, it was the same thing in my life. I didn't have a great father modeled for me, but that didn't mean I couldn't be a great father. What I needed to do was to find guides. And so I would look at guys that I knew that were great dads, and I would just pick their brains. I'm like, tell me, how do you be a great, I don't know. Tell me how you be a great dad. I would find guys that were great husbands. And I'm like, tell me how to do this. You know, every guy in my family has been divorced for the past 7 generations. How do I be a husband that doesn't end up like that? And you know, one of the things that I learned, and that's why being authentic is so important, because you're not just being authentic with other people, you got to be authentic with yourself. You got to be authentic and tell yourself, hey, this is where I know that I've got a blind spot, or I got a weak spot, because mine was never alcohol. I mean, I don't have anything against it. It doesn't do it for me. I'm just not a big drinker. It's never been drugs. I'm not going to tell you that I haven't tried things way back in the past, but that never did it for me. But like my dad, I have always appreciated a good-looking woman. So like when we were doing the blue collar tour, and this is going on, I've done stand-up for almost 40 years. This has always been the way I do it. But I knew out of the things that get men in trouble, that's where I was vulnerable. The other two, I wasn't going to go out and do heroin. I wasn't going to go out and get blackout drunk. But I like a pretty girl. So when we would do blue collar, at the end of the night, we'd get through with the show, and the other guys would always go out and hang out at a bar, and they would go, Fox, come on, and let's go have a beer. And I'm like, no, I'm just going to go back to my room and order room service and call home. And it wasn't that I thought having a beer was a bad thing. Not at all. Here's what I knew. I knew Jeff, not being a drinker, if he had 1 beer and we were having fun and laughing and cutting up, I'd probably have 2 beers. And if I had 2 and we're still laughing and drinking and cutting up, I might have 3 beers. Well, now, Jeff's getting happy, and all it takes is somebody in a low-cut dress that smells good sitting down next to me, and I'm going to start flirting with her. And I'm in a really precarious situation where I can do the same thing that my dad did.
And so I'm like, be wise. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to be vulnerable. Because if you break that thing at home, you can glue it back together, but it's never the same. It's never going to be the same. So be wise and don't if your thing is alcohol, don't go out to the bar. It's going to get you in trouble. Be honest with yourself. All of us have weak spots. All of us have blind spots. But be wise enough to avoid those spots. Because here's what happens. Trust, and you know this with your friends, trust is built, it's like a cup of coffee. You build trust one drop at a time. When you meet somebody, you don't know nothing about them, you have no trust. And then you'll go out and you'll do something together and you go, I really like that dude. And you got a couple of drops of trust in there. And then over the months and over the years, that cup fills up one drop at a time and it's full. But when you break trust, it's like breaking the bottom out of that coffee cup. You don't lose it a drop at a time. You lose it all at once. And when you lose it, it never comes back the way it was before. And so for me, yeah, I like a pretty girl, but I didn't want my kids to look at me that way. I didn't want my kids to look at me the way I would look at my dad when he was on marriage number 4 and we'd go out to eat somewhere and he'd start flirting with the waitress and I'm like, holy crap, here we go again. Because he may end up leaving me at the restaurant and leaving with her. He was good. He was really good.
I don't know why only rednecks are seeing UFOs. And here's the deal. You got to discount 90% of that stuff right off the top. Because my Uncle Jerry swore they had crop circles in their yard. Then we found out that his wife had called Goodwill and they'd come and got the trampoline and the boat trailer. So, mystery solved. But let's just say for a minute that aliens really are visiting Earth, but they didn't want people to know they're visiting Earth. It makes sense that they would only reveal themselves to rednecks. Because A, we usually live out in the country, so there's not going to be a lot of witnesses. B, we have no credibility with the media. People might believe a doctor from UCLA if he saw one and said, well, they appeared to be bipods from a hydrogen and nitrogen-based environment whose primary respiratory organ was located within their moist translucent epidermis. As opposed to Cletus in his overalls going, it looked like a giant booger with real skinny legs. And here's the deal with the abductions. See, rednecks don't get to take a lot of vacations. So if somebody comes around and offers to fly us somewhere for free, we're going. And if you're traveling the universe, who better to have on board than a redneck in case your spaceship broke down? Because we'd have the hood open going, all right, I see what the problem is. Your nuclear fusion doojiggy sprung a leak. But look here, y'all get me a coat hanger, a Mountain Dew can, and some duct tape. I'll get us as far as Uranus. I don't know why, after all these years, my wife continues to ask, what do you want for your birthday? What I always want for my birthday. What's every man on the planet want for his birthday? The same thing every woman on the planet doesn't want for her birthday. Never once has my wife said to me, forget the flowers, forget the presents. Why don't you just lock the door and take me to Squeal Town? But it's what every guy wants. You can be visiting your 90-year-old grandpa in the nursing home and be like, happy birthday, Papa. Is today my birthday? Sure is. Well, help me get my pants off. I don't know why a dog can eat its own vomit, gobble up cat poop, and lick its rear end for hours and be totally fine, but if he eats half a candy bar, he dies. They need to renegotiate that one.